Uh, I did have one more question I had thought about. So you get the no, it's not, but it's not too bad. So you do get like the contracts and the people that you work with before, like far as either you or like somebody on your team, like um, say they're into like superhero movies or something like that, and I guess like Shazam that just came out. Are they like super excited? Like, wow, I really want to work on this, and I really want to do something like that. Like, does those opportunities like come at any time?
So Shazam is, I work a lot with Warner Brothers, so I know the crew that works on Shazam.
Mhm.
And even though if I want to work on it, I can't step on the toes. I got to be
Right.
respectful. Because if I want it, I will get it.
Mm.
But I have to be respectful. It just unspoken rule. Uh, I I let the clients come to me.
Yeah.
So
But
and
have you all had something like that though?
I didn't go after them. They came after me.
Yeah.
So
But have you all had something like not even if it's like a team on it already or somebody assigned to it already, but like it's just something upcoming, like you all see like it's being
Something you
announced or
really want
something
to
like
work on.
that. Like it's
so
just free and like that's real cool. I would love to work on that. Like how like
that
have you all had
happened.
that? Yeah.
So that happened, and when I want something, put my mind to it, I get it.
Yeah.
So Spiderman, the new Spiderman was coming out,
Okay.
and that was done at Sony. I'm like, oh boy, I want that. So then, the lead Foley artist there, he chooses who is going to be his partner,
Mhm.
and I knew he was looking for a female because he's male. He's looking for a female, so I called him.
Mm.
I heard he's doing auditions. I never auditioned for a Foley job before.
Yeah.
So I called him. I'm like, hey, I want that audition. He goes, how did you know? I'm like, small world. So I'm like, so I told him everything he wanted to hear. I'm like, you're auditioning. It's a blind test, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, yeah, give me your hardest thing. Let's do it.
Oh wow.
He goes, all right. So I came over, really impressed him, brought the biggest suitcase I can, all kinds of shoes. And he gave me the hardest. I mean, he really listened to me. He gave me the hardest thing to do. He gave me one of the Spider-Man when he's jumping from roof to roof to roof to roof. I'm like, play it for me once. He played it. I'm like, perfect. Play it for me 10 more times, please. So, I mean, it's a new environment. It's not my stage, it's not my mixer. I did it. And he waited like till after the weekend and he called me and he said, I got it.
Oh
So,
wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
got it. It pushed for 3 months. And it was the weekend that my sister was getting married. It was like July. So it was starting on Wednesday. I went there. And then Sonny was like, oh, you got to get COVID tested before you go in. They have a COVID testing thing. I'm like, all right. I mean, I just went, surfing the day before. Try
Right.
to surf. I'm not a surfer. Like, okay. So the waves were smacking me around, So they had me test myself and I went to the stage and I'm feeling 100% fine. Then
Mhm.
I get a call 4 hours into it, I get a call. Hey, can we speak with Son? I'm like, all right. Because it was like the Foley stage was kind of dead. My cell phone wasn't working.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're positive. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. I'm very positive. Like, next, is this why you called me?
So you're damn right I'm positive. I'm always positive.
Like, I'm like, wow, this is so nice. They call me to tell me I'm positive. They're like, this is the health department from Sony. I'm like, yeah, okay. Why is this person from that? They're like, you're COVID positive. I'm like, oh, they're like, well, we don't want to tell anyone. So, I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to tell anyone? I'm in the room with them. Yeah,
Right.
I'm COVID positive. Run for me.
Everybody stay back.
So I'm like, I'm gonna get my stuff. I immediately went like this, got my stuff together. I felt 100% fine.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
so then they had to question me, were you an artist? I'm like, yes and no. Was you wearing a mask? Yeah,
Yeah.
So because they would have canceled him too,
Right.
and would have lost the movie. Because if they push it 10 days for the whole crew, they only had 20 days to do it,
Right.
and it's mixing.
Right.
So yeah, so then my kids are football players, and if they get exposed to COVID, then
They can't play.
They
they
can't
can
play.
play for 2 weeks. They lose 2 weeks of practice, 2 weeks play. That means they're probably not going to play for a month. So
Right.
I couldn't do that. So I was prisoner in my room, and my sister was getting married that weekend.
Oh man,
I'm
Oh
sure
man,
so much going on at one time.
it was
That's
so
crazy.
much, but I wanted Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man.
That's all that matters.
it's like, well, look at the bright side. I got Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, not on my credit, because I mean 4 hours. Come on, they got 20 days. The guy that actually ended up doing the job is Adam DeCoster. He's the guy. He works for me.
Okay.
Sweet.
He's done a lot of big stuff. He was working with the guy before, and he's done a lot of big stuff. He had a fever, coughing, chills. He was okay to work because he was testing negative. I'm here in my room. I'm like, I think this is what prison is like. I'm doing my boys brought me an elliptical here, and
Yeah.
I had weights, and I was just working out every day. I came out of 10 days, I was ripped. Sick.
I think they swapped the
They
tests.
mixed the test up.
They mixed them up.
I really did think so. I'm like, ooh, this is LA. Maybe if I go to Orange County and get tested. So I go to Orange County, I'm like, oh, I went to LA and they tested me positive. Can you test me? And then they're like, okay. So they took it, like, yeah, you're positive. I'm like, are you positive? Like, yeah.
It's like, this is some bull.
I was right. I'm like, I have no symptoms. And he's like, so I told that doctor, I'm like, so I have Spider-Man, like, give me that negative thing. He goes, I'm like, I know, I'm fine. Look at me. And he's like,
It's like, I'll tell you what happened at the end. Just give me negative. I'll tell you what happened.
yeah. So it was kind of sad.
Oh man, that's cool.
But it was again, everything happens for a good reason, because when Adam was working, he was messaging me every day. You're so lucky. This is so hard. I can feel my body from all the body falls. It's hard work.
Oh man, that had to suck. He was recording while his body felt so weak. Oh man.
Oh yeah, he sent him home. He only worked half day. He got sent home that day, but came back the next day.
Oof.
And then he had the weekend to recoup and work. And every day he was messaging me. He goes, "This is really hard work. I mean, it's action, So
Yeah.
it's but I was ready for it. The guy was telling me. He goes, so how I'm like, I know I'm little, but I'm strong. I'll carry you if you want me to. And I'm like, I carry car doors and slam, whatever. It's all
That's
good.
cool.